Hello, hello. It is One Piece time. I feel frustrated because I remember thinking at some point in the last week, oh, when I read the new One Piece chapter, I really want to talk about some theory I had or something I noticed upon rereading something or just something that was like on my mind. And now I can't remember what it is, even slightly, and it's bugging me. Maybe I'll think of it while we read the chapter, but honestly, I'm so excited just by the title of this one. Kizaru, one of my all time favorite characters. Um, the Marine Admiral who wields the power of light with the Pika Pika fruit. Who has, I think, one of the best entrances in all of One Piece, showing up at Saburi Archipelago and just gapping everybody. I think in general, one of the coolest feelings in One Piece is like you have a very chaotic battle, you have all of these different forces and stuff, and then this one presence arrives that just shifts the tone of everything. And just seeing the total shift in like the flow of the battle and stuff, and kind of the awesome power that represents, I think is so cool. I really want to see it like represented in a video game or something. In fact, as a kid, I having read this chapter where Kizaru shows up, I say a kid, but I was in like my teens. I really was thinking a lot about the idea of like major multiplayer, massively multiplayer, like war games and stuff, and that how could you balance it such that some players were actually like super powerful and could just show up and like drastically make these changes of tide and such. And I don't know. Anyways, I'm just rambling, but always has been a very, very cool character to me. I just love his attitude. I love his powers. I love the choreography of his fight scenes. I'm really excited to see what he will do in this chapter that bears his name. So Luffy jumps on the Den Mushi. This is the first direct contact he has ever had with the Five Elder Stars. This represents his direct contact with like the greatest power so far in the Navy. Pretty awesome. Introducing himself as the man who will be the king of pirates. Amazing. We have Dr. Vegapunk. If you value York's life, move all your ships away from the shore. He says evil as the stories say. It's funny because like he easily could be trying to run the situation as, oh, we're like threatening Vegapunk's life in order to gain favor, um, like in order to blackmail them and stuff, a hostage situation. But of course, some of the people know that Vegapunk also is going to be wiped out, and that they're just only trying to save York because they know about York's betrayal. But like Luffy, I don't think really understands like either of those things. Like he just kind of understands that he can threaten them with York, but like he doesn't really get this like double layer of two different interpretations of the hostage situation. Uh, and Morgan's freaking out trying to figure out what does this mean? What's happening there? Well, it's because Luffy is doing your negotiations, and he's not very well summarizing the situation. Okay, so this is like a spread. Yeah, yeah. But this little extra inch doesn't change my interpretation. You're a Straw Hat Luffy. Who is still alive in there? Yeah, he's just gonna tell them everything. Information is a weapon. Don't hand your enemies weapons. You're gonna move the ships now. There are three things we must retain. York's safety, because she can make the Mother Flame, which is necessary for the ancient weapon that nuked that country. Which I think was the thing I wanted to talk about, because I remember after that chapter I was reading the One Piece wiki, making sure I was up to speed on all of this lore around the Mother Flame and stuff. I still can't remember what it is. The Punk Records brain, which is just all of the collected knowledge of Vegapunk. They don't want to get rid of that. And the power plant that creates the Mother Flame itself. Makes sense. Everything else is disposable, including Vegapunk himself, including CP0, including all of the other pacifista and stuff they've deployed, the Seraphim and what have you. A pretty shocking statement from St. J. Garcia here. We see someone reacting Yeah, yeah. Speak of the worst case scenario. Don't lose sight of our highest priorities. This guy's name is Doberman, by the way. I looked that up. Think of human lives as nothing more than instincts. Insects. They'll always breed more to make up for any loss. Heard me at all. This whole island will go up in smoke just like Ohara. Ooh. I like this. I like that it's Nami specifically that's like offended by that. Because Nami, I think, remembers the story a lot better than other people in the crew. I'm sure, other people understand Robin's situation and know about Ohara and stuff, but Nami really sticking up with her and Robin with this nice little smile, I think is really good. It's not a state of me, but remember, I was against two Seraphim. Kaku is so funny. I love this. I love this kind of like celebratory chaos. I love Luffy and Bonnie just scarfing down food. 4 seriously wounded. 4 Vegapunks dead. Lucci just kind of iterating the situation in his head, trying to figure out how he can maybe still come out most advantaged. I just really like, I don't know, like, obviously there was a huge battle. The Seraphim aren't jokes. They were in a pretty bad spot. A lot of people have been petrified. But it's still kind of like beneath our concern a little bit. Like, I'm not sure if we're going to get a full flashback to see what happened here. It kind of feels like no. It kind of feels like we're just meant to understand that Luffy is at this stage where his whole crew is just committing miracles. They're just making miracles happen. The one thing I really do want to see, though, is what did Bonnie learn in Kuma's little flashback chamber when she absorbed his memories? But in general, I just really like this, like, skip forward. I really like how the tension of the situation has moved right to, like, the climax instead of kind of this incremental tension building up to this major showdown. And yeah, just the mood now is just so great. I don't know. Just the vibes, dude. The vibes. Everybody's just chilling and eating and stuff. Whoa, they sent down food to the basement. Is this another spread? Bro, we've had only spreads so far in this chapter. The CP agents scarfing down food. Stuck in there. The Seraphim stuck and bubbled. Yeah, adorable. Seraphim Hawk, pissed off. I love Seraphim Jinbei. Seraphim Jinbei is so cute. He's just chilling. He's just, I don't know. They have such like specific like types of child archetype, like even though they obviously reflect what those warlords were like as a kid, they did a really good job not just making them like miniature versions of that warlord, but instead like somebody that like acts like a kid, like a type of kid. I don't know, just like the brattiness or Jinbei's kind of like weird indifference. Okay. As shared, we have not received any orders to kill you. I have no interest in you. But we remember, this is very key, the hierarchy of who controls the Seraphim. The 5 Elder Stars are paramount. When Saint J. Garcia gives the order, I don't know if these bubbles are going to last. I think we really are going to lean into this cruelty of Saint J. Garcia sacrificing all of the CP agents. Like, I think that scene was very, very deliberately foreshadowing a pretty horrible massacre. And I think that achieves a few things. It makes it so that Lucci and Kaku can very firmly and justifiably switch sides and maybe start hating the government. I think that could be very interesting. I think it just really sets up how evil and twisted St. J. Garcia is, that we're going to witness all of this violence and know that he was so indifferent to it. And I think, again, it's just sort of setting up this idea that, like, all of the world government is pretty bad, but some parts of it are much worse than others. And when we kind of build up to this ultimate climax that I still feel like is going to be basically every good person versus every bad person, it makes sense that some Cypherpol agencies and some parts of the Navy and stuff are going to be on Team Good Guys. Grateful to you. Releases from your stone powers. Okay, so this is kind of the miniature flashback we're getting in piecemeal. Should be part of our programming. Even Seraphim Snake can't turn down a request from Luffy. Information transmitted through bloodline elements when producing clones is really most fascinating. Indeed it is. I like that Vegapunk here is still frantically journaling everything that's happening. This on-the-fly experimentation during Crisis. Hancock hearing her actual non-mispronounced name. Whoa! Atlas is back. I love Atlas. Atlas is such a fun design. Frontier dorm still open. Can't escape without the barrier of seating. There's a encryption code on it. My brain isn't synced to all of yours, so you won't get it to me. And then, of course, the violent one. I can't think of her name. Trying to hack in. Let me surround on all sides. 100 ships of various sizes, about 30,000 men. This is exciting. I like how this arc has evolved. At first, it was kind of like crazy technology arc, science arc, futuristic arc, and then it's sort of transformed into this sneaky subterfuge arc. Who is the traitor? Running around the laboratory, kind of sneaky, which was exciting, but it wasn't really huge scale. So then we kind of like time skip. Oh, you know what? That was actually resolved correctly. But now we move into yet another sort of structure of arc, which is like unprecedented government raid arc. And we've obviously seen government raids happen before, but never in the situation where they're like holding down the fort and they want to protect the island they're on from just this insane level of barrage. Like Ohara, it was just screwed. They had no hope in hell. Ain's Lobby, they didn't care if Ain's Lobby was going to blow up. They just wanted to get everybody off of it. This is the first time where it's like they actually have to defend against a raid in the most general sense, which I think is really exciting. Logpost hasn't recorded the signal yet. One steady needle from Wayno we can use. Elbaf! We're going! Bro, we're actually going to Elbaf? Oh my god, I am as excited as Luffy and Usopp. And I don't think Oda would at this point say, we're going to Elbaf, have Luffy and Usopp get excited about it, and then not go to Elbaf. There's a lot of people that were like, we don't have time to go to Elbaf. There's a lot of people that were like, you know, it's the final arc. It's the final saga. There's only so many things we can do. There's people that are like, there'll be a story on Elbaf, but it won't involve the crew, which I think is fair, and that would have been a perfectly legitimate thing to do. There's a lot of stories that can be told there, with the books of Ohara existing there, and Jaguar D. Saul being there, and then the legacies of all the giant crews and stuff, and the aftermath of like the Big Mom incident, and many, many stories could be told without the involvement of the Straw Hats. But I mean, can Oda really not take us to Elbaf? Can he really be like, we're going to Disney World and then drive us up to the dentist? I think we're going to Elbaf. I don't think it'll maybe be a huge arc. It might even be like a peaceful arc. It might even be like, we're just here and we learn a lot and we meet some people and we really enjoy the environment and then we move on. I don't know. It could also be the site of my expected at war against Vegapunk arc, because I still feel like once Luffy actually understands Vegapunk's plans, they're going to be in dispute. I don't know. Oh, this is exciting. Ship is currently here in the Labo phase. Navy ships are waiting along every bit of coastline. We can't leave via the port. Fly over the blockade. But the robot can only fly in the airspace over Egghead. Once you leave, it'll fall to the earth. Then they use Coupe de Burst. Fly even further. Fly a kilo away. Hell, let's do that! Whoa! Vegapunk! So excited about Frankie's technology. I love it. So now they actually have an escape plan. I thought it was going to be like they're actually going to fight off this huge raid. In fact, I was just talking about that, right? Oh, this is like the first full-scale Navy raid arc in One Piece. But now it kind of seems like another Ainz Lobby slip out the back with everybody we like, fuck them all. I don't know. That's like the plan, but maybe, I don't know. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Why is this chapter called Kizaru? He hasn't shown up yet. So they start trying to hack away. We're gonna go move the ship. First time ever leaving the island. Ooh. So whatever Bonnie learned made her sympathetic to Vegapunk. She's not mad at Vegapunk about what he did to Kuma anymore after seeing Kuma's memories. Which isn't surprising, but it's still intriguing. You know, what is the full history of Kuma? We still don't know. Okay. Talked a big game like he was in control, but it seems like they're actually trapped inside. Laser defense system, and you are like, can you get inside? Quite frankly, I can, but a good friend of mine is defending Vegapunk below it. Sentomaru. And we don't really know the full extent of their history, but they showed up at Sabaody together, and they seem like they're buds. We saw that flashback of young Sentomaru playing with the light. So leap over him. Not a sporting thing to do when a man is making his principled last stand like that. I prefer to play this one by the book. You should know that when we attack, I mean the countless sea beast weapons and 50 pacifistas under Sentomaru's command will start sinking our ships in response. It's going to be a heavy cost to this. Ooh, so Rob Lucci's still somehow leaking stuff now? Maybe? Or is this like before? Okay. Kins are worthless. Okay. The raid is about to begin. Whether they want to or not, we're getting a raid arc. It begins. The sacred Yatamir. He used this before. I think it's so cool. Just ping-ponging, zooming through. Squaring off against Sentomaru. Ooh, and Luffy's gonna fight him too! Okay. Not a super focused on Kizaru chapter. But I really like him going, I'm not just gonna skip past Sentomaru. He's making his last stand. I want to fight him. You know? I think it says a lot about Kizaru's character in an aspect that we haven't really seen before. And this fight looks like it's gonna be super hype. And when Sentomaru said before, do you remember? He does the like, hop, and Luffy goes flying, and Luffy's like, I don't understand why that hurt. I'm made out of rubber. And it was one of the first like clues of Haki. And then later we're kind of like, oh, I get it. Sentomaru is using Haki. But he does say, my defense is the best in the world. And it's like, people don't usually lie about stuff like that in One Piece. Oda doesn't usually lie about stuff like that in One Piece or retcon it or whatever. Sentomaru might have, in some respects, the best defense in the world. I don't know. This is exciting. And then Luffy fighting Kizaru too. Also very exciting. This is crazy because Sentomaru does the kick that Raleigh does. Like, he blocks the kick in the same way that Raleigh did. And Raleigh, of course, has like unfathomable powers. We can't even put him consistently in any spot on the tiering. I don't know, man. This is crazy. I can't wait for next week. I hope you are looking forward to it too. Can't wait to share it with you. Bye-bye.